Today we're going to teach you how to fill out a driver's daily log. This is what a driver's daily log looks like. Keep in mind you have to have your previous 14 days on hand filled out. And first thing we're going to do is go to today's date, go to a blank page. We're going to put our carbon copy in behind this white page so that it makes a duplicate copy, which is a carbon copy. And the first thing we have to do is our driver's vehicle inspection report. That's on the bottom half of this page. This is actually two different documents here. The driver's vehicle inspection report is the bottom half, and the driver's daily log is the top half. Now that my pre-trip inspection has been performed physically on my truck, I have to document it in the top left corner of the driver's vehicle inspection report. So I'll check off pre-trip. That shows it's been completed. And the next thing I have to fill out is the company name and address. So the company name, Remcan Projects LP 1-20075 100A Ave, Langley, BC, V1M 3G4. The next item to fill out on the driver's vehicle inspection report is the time of inspection. In this example, the inspection was performed at 6 a.m. So under time of inspection, I write 6 and I circle a.m. Odometer reading, 100,000 kilometers is what my odometer is at. Location of inspection is Kelowna, BC. The date is January 1st, 2001. The next item I must fill out is my tractor/truck license number. My truck license number is HL8888. Jurisdiction, that means the province my vehicle is insured in. In this example, my vehicle is insured in British Columbia, so I write BC. And the next thing I have to note is whether or not I found defects. And there was no defects noted in this example, so I'll check off no defects found. Inspector/driver's name print, that is where I'll print my name. Jim Smith. And inspector driver's signature. I have to sign my name as well. Now that my driver's vehicle inspection report has been completed and documented, it's time to fill out my driver's daily log. That's on the top half of this page. So the first item I need to fill out is the date. It's the first day of the first month of 2001. The next item I must check off is cycle 1 that I'm operating on. So right here it says 70 hours/7 day. I must put a check mark in there. And home terminal name and address. It's the same as it was on my pre-trip. Company name, Remcan Projects LP 1-20075 100A Avenue, Langley, BC, V1M 3G4. The next item that I must fill out is the principal place of business name and address. I'm working in Kelowna, BC. That is my current principal place of business. I'm staying at the Days Inn. So for principal place of business name and address, I put Days Inn. 123 Smith Street, Kelowna, BC, V1G 3H5. The next thing I have to do is write my name where it says driver's name, Jim Smith. and driver's full signature. I don't sign this document yet because it's not complete. Once my 24-hour period has been filled out and all items that are required to be filled out have been completed, then I'll sign the document. It's now a legal document. I can send it into my company. It's complete. That's what the signature is for. Don't get confused and sign it right away. It's not required to be signed yet. The next item I must fill out is in the top left corner of the driver's daily log. It's my starting odometer. So it will be the same as it was on my pre-trip. If I look down here, my odometer was 100,000 kilometers. So in the top left corner, all right, 100,000 kilometers. My license plate number, HL8888, and day start time if other than midnight. My day starts at midnight as identified by the 0 right here, and it continues right until midnight 24 hours later. I'm not required to write anything because my day start time is midnight. The next item for me to complete is the chart on the bottom of the driver's daily log. This documents your previous 14 days, day 14 being yesterday, day 1 being 14 days ago. So yesterday I worked 10 hours. So the top column is total hours on duty. So I will write 10 hours for yesterday. And the bottom column here is total hours off duty. So I had 10 hours on duty yesterday, which means I had 14 hours off duty. This always totals up to 24 hours. In this example, I had 10 hours in day 13, 10, 10, and 10. So in my last 6 days, I've worked 60 hours. You can only work 70 hours in a 7-day period, so I only have 10 hours available today. I still have to continue to document my previous 14 days. So I had 6 days off, so 0 on duty, 24 hours off duty, and then day 1, 10, 14 off, day 2, 10, 14 off. Now when I look at my previous 14 days, I can see that I've never exceeded my 70 hours in any 7-day period, and I have 10 hours available for today. The next item that I must fill out documents my hours worked during my day. Again, a day is a 24-hour period, starting at midnight and ending at midnight. Box 1 in this chart is off-duty time other than spent in a sleeper berth. Box 2 is off-duty time spent in a sleeper berth. Box 3 is driving time. And box 4 is on-duty time other than driving. So I'm going to get my ruler here that comes with my logbook, and I'm going to document that I was off duty from midnight till 6 a.m. because 6 a.m., as you can see, is when I began my pre-trip. So the first thing I will do is draw a line showing that I was off duty from midnight until 6 a.m. Now I'm going to slide the line down because I'm on duty at 6. So I'm going to slide the line down from box 1 to box 4. That's on duty time other than driving. My pre-trip that I began at 6 a.m. took 30 minutes. That's classified as on duty time other than driving. So I'm going to document in box 4 from 6 to 6:30 that I was on duty, not driving. Now I must go to the remarks section below, draw a line up to the 6 to notify my logbook what task I was performing. So I'll draw a line down like this on an angle, and now I will write pre-trip, Kelowna, BC. Now I'm going to be driving to the work location. Right now I'm currently on duty not driving, but my status is going to be changing to driving in box 3. Anytime my status changes from any one of these boxes, I have to update my status. I will update that by drawing a line from 6:30 in on duty not driving up to box 3, which is on duty driving. And now I'll leave it like that. I've updated my status change. I'm now okay to drive to my work location. Okay, I've now arrived at my work location. So I'm done driving, and my status is going to drop back from driving time to on duty not driving. So I must update my logbook. In this example, I was driving for an hour and a half from 6:30 until 8 a.m. So I make a line in box 3, on duty driving time, showing that I was driving from 6:30 to 8 a.m. Now I'm going to be putting on track. So my status is going to be on duty time other than driving. So I move it down from box 3 to box 4 at 8 a.m. So I have arrived at my work location. I have to make a remark at 8 a.m. because my location has changed. I'll draw a line to the 8 and then a line on an angle. And I'm going to be putting on track at Lumby, BC. That's the yard that I'll be working in. Okay, I've been on track working. Now it's time to drive home. It's 14 o'clock. So I have to show that I was on duty not driving from 8 a.m. to 14 o'clock. And I do that by drawing a line in box 4 from 8 a.m. to 14 o'clock. Now I'd like to drive home. I'm done work for the day. My status is going to change from on duty time other than driving to driving time. Before I drive, I have to update my status in my logbook. I do that by drawing a line from box 4 at 14 o'clock up to box 3. Now this shows that I'm driving. My status has changed. I've updated it. Now I'm okay to drive back to Kelowna. Okay, I've now driven back to Kelowna. It took me an hour and a half. My status has changed. I'm no longer driving. I'm on duty not driving. I'm in the yard now, have some cleanup to do. So I have to document that I drove an hour and a half from 15:30 to 1400 was my driving time. So I make the mark in box 3 showing that I was driving from 14 o'clock to 15:30. My status has changed now. I'm updating my logbook. At 15:30, I draw a line down to box 4. On duty not driving. Now that my location has changed, I must document it in remarks. My last location was Lumby. I have my last location recorded here. Now because my status has changed and I'm in Kelowna, I'm going to make a remark at 15:30 that I've arrived in Kelowna, BC. Okay, my truck is done for the day now. I'm working in Kelowna, BC in the yard. I have to do the post-trip inspection on my truck because I'll no longer be using it. So I go back down to the bottom half of this page, which is the driver's vehicle inspection report, and right underneath pre-trip inspection it says post-trip. I've done my post-trip on my vehicle, everything's good. I check it off. Now my driver's vehicle inspection report is complete. Okay, it took me 30 minutes to clean up and do my post-trip. That's classified as on-duty time not driving. So I'll make a line from 15:30 to 16 that I was on duty not driving. So now if you've noticed, I've worked 10 hours today. I had 60 hours in my previous 6 days. I'm at 70 hours in 7 days. I'm no longer legal to operate a commercial vehicle. So I'm going to change my status from on duty not driving at 16 o'clock up to off duty at 16 o'clock. Please keep in mind, if you still have hours available, in this example I don't, I'm at 70, but if I still had hours available to work, I wouldn't draw this line yet. The reason I wouldn't draw this line yet and I would just leave my last mark at 16 o'clock on duty not driving is in case I got called back out and I had 4 hours available to work still, then I could just continue to slide this line over as on duty for the remainder of the 4 hours. But in this example, my 70 hours is expired. That's why I've drawn the line up to 16 o'clock. The remainder of my 24-hour day is going to be off duty. I document that by drawing a line in box 1 from 16 to 24. Now that I've completed my day, 24 hours is done, I got to total up my hours. There's a column beside each box here. Column 1 is your total hours off duty. I had 6 plus 8. That's 14 hours off duty. Sleeper berth, 0 hours. Driving time is the third column. I had 1.5 hours plus 1.5 hours, 3 hours driving time. And the fourth column is on duty not driving, half an hour, 6 hours, half an hour. That's 7 hours. Now I must add these 4 numbers up. It's always going to equal 24 hours. I'll write 24 in the bottom box. Now the next thing I must complete is my ending odometer. My truck's ending odometer was 100,200 kilometers, and my total distance driven today is 200 kilometers. One of the final things to fill out now is my recap. Eligible hours today. What that means is how many hours I had available in my cycle left today. I worked 60 in the last 6 days. That leaves me 10 hours available today. Minus hours today is the next column. Whatever you worked for this day is what you put in this column. I worked 10 hours today. My subtotal, all that means is I'm subtracting this number from this number. So I had 10 hours available. I worked 10. My subtotal is 0. And now my eligible hours tomorrow is 0. I must take a cycle reset. Now that I've filled out every item that needs to be filled out on my logbook, it's complete. I must sign the document. Now that is a complete legal logbook document. That is how you complete a driver's daily log and a driver's vehicle inspection report.